What's good, everybody? It's Berto out here with a quick video. Listen, I really was gonna do, a quick video on my new camera bag, but I'm actually about to listen to the interview of a lawyer that is defending a man that is suing his jiu-jitsu coach because he got injured in a tournament.
What you talking about, Will?
Even though he signed 2 waivers when he first signed up with the gym. Now, me as a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, this angers me, I guess you can say.
Why?
First of all, that's not your coach's fault. I don't know who this guy is.
You tripping, bro?
It's not your coach's fault. Let me see. I know. Alright, I'm just gonna leave names out of this, whatever. I guess, waivers did not extend to competition.
That's a read.
Are you serious? The other guy is from a whole nother team. Your coach has no control over that. I mean, they put you up against a 290 pounder. The guy weighed himself 246 pounds. That's about 44, I think. 44 pounds or so of a difference.
That's not the fucking point! Wait, what?
Okay.
Must have been an absolute, maybe. I don't know what tournament it was. I didn't see any names of what tournament. I'm on the article right now. I was reading it, and that's when it clicked. I'm like, I have to do a quick video. But anyways, yeah. So he's a white belt, of course, white belt. Sorry for all the good white belts out there. Your coach, he has your back the whole way. He went out of his way to go to your tournament. I mean, I don't know how many other students he had that were competing that day, but he went out of his way to go to train you. Not only train you, but go to the competition when he could have been home with his family. But no, he was out there with his team. Because yes, his team is also part of his this pisses me off so much and messing up my words. It's also part of his family. His team is part of his family. We call each other family, you know? Man, how many times did I say family there?
You already said that. No, I didn't.
Alright, but anyways.
Lawyer with Dahan Law and Counsel for the plaintiff, Joe Peters. Jordana, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Gloria.
So what happened to your client, Joe Peters, at this tournament?
Yeah, and it's more just to clarify the claim. One of the main allegations is that my client had signed up, weighed in at under 246 pounds, and there's a weight class for that. And in the end, he fought someone who was approximately 290 pounds. So some...
Let me point out, she said at the end. At the end of what? The tournament? Because if that's the case, I'm pretty sure that must have been an absolute. Usually absolutes are at the end of the division. At the end, usually at the end of the tournament, yeah. And absolute means any weight class goes. You could, a 100-pound dude soaking wet can go up against a 300-pounder if they end up going, on the brackets, meeting up. So you sign up for that. You don't have to do absolute. You normally just sign up for that. And if you don't want to fight, then you just say, hey, I can't do this no more. Not go and do it. I mean, if you don't want to do it, that's on you. But no matter how tired I am, I'm still going to go out there and fight. If I get hurt, I get hurt. But let's get to this.
50 pounds more than him in a different weight class, and that this was that he should have had consent, and in fact he was never notified that he was fighting someone in a weight class above his own.
Never notified. Never. Never.
Boy, if you don't.
No. Okay.
So that's the negligence portion as well. He says that at the competition he was required to fight in standing, but he had never been trained in standing, and that his trainer, who was also the host of the competition.
So because you never had any training in stand-up, you still decided to sign up. You decided to sign up. I'm sure your coach didn't force you. Let's keep listening.
Ought to have known that and not had him fight.
And how long had he been training with is Marcus Suarez?
Suarez, yeah, Marcus Suarez. Only approximately 8 or 9 months.
8 or 9 months. This guy has been training. White belt. 8 or 9 months. All right. I have a video sometime last year about my first tournament. My very, very first tournament. I was only training for 3 months. I won first and second place. First no gi, second gi. 3 months. And then I got my blue belt 13 months of training. 8 or 9 months, and he never trained stand-up. Okay.
I don't have the details of how often he attended classes, but he had registered in September of 2015, and the competition was May 2016.
And what happened to him at the competition?
Well, the injuries that he claims he suffered was injuries to his knee primarily, and it also required surgery.
I see.
So pretty significant.
But he had specifically trained for this tournament, but he's claiming that not the proper type of training?
I don't...
Like I was saying, actually, I completely forgot to say it. If you don't want to do stand-up at a tournament, as soon as you guys, what's it called? Dap and pound? As soon as you guys do this, you can sit on your butt. Just sit down. You don't want to do stand-up? You don't want to do no judo? Sit down. Bam. Problem solved.
I think he's saying he specifically trained for this competition, but he had some training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu through the classes, and the competition was for that. And yeah, he did not have training in standing techniques. So one of the issues that's raised too is that he was given by Marcus Suarez a white belt with 2 stripes. And my understanding is that white stripes require that you have some training in standing combat techniques. So another question is, why did Marcus Suarez even give him a white belt with 2 stripes if he hadn't demonstrated any abilities in that regard?
So he gets the white belt.
A 2-stripe white belt. I mean, what 2-stripe white belt understands judo properly unless they already been training in judo?
2 stripes. He hasn't had training in standing technique. If he was unprepared, didn't he have a chance to just
Listen, another thing. After 4.5, almost 5 years of training jiu-jitsu, I can tell you right now, white belts spaz. They spaz out at times, or most of the time, depending on who it is. They usually spaz out, you know? And that's where a lot of injuries happen, especially if you're standing. My coach always says, everybody be careful when we're doing stand-up stuff. Everybody be careful, make sure nobody gets hurt. Not all white belts know how to do stand-up. Some colored belts don't even know how to do stand-up properly.
And what his knowledge was about how he was going to fight in this particular competition isn't before the court yet either.
I see. So, I mean, from what I understand, that the legal concept of volente non fit injuria, meaning to a willing person, injury is not done. I mean, that would seem to apply in this case. Was your client not aware he could be injured in a jiu-jitsu?
If this guy wasn't aware that he could not be injured, or that he wouldn't get injured,
Bitch. The door.
he's on some serious stuff. He's smoking some serious stuff.
You smoking? Blocker. What that is you smoking? Blocker. What that is you smoking?
Because, yo, how do you not expect that? I mean, I'm not saying, yeah, we go to tournaments to expect to get hurt. You never know. I've been hurt. I actually messed up one of my arms at won a tournament for getting armbarred pretty bad. But you bounce back.
Tournament? I mean, this is a combat sport after all.
I think there's a difference between
Combat.
accepting the regular risks of participating in sport and then participating in a competition where you're told that you will have the option. You may be asked to fight someone in a higher weight class for you, but you will be notified and have the option to say no. And so when the instructor goes beyond that, that's no longer, Mr. Peters didn't accept, he didn't necessarily accept that risk of participating in comp.
So if he didn't accept to go on the mat and want to go against this guy, why did he step up?
Bitch. The door.
Why? He got on the mat for a reason. Oh, but because he lost, he wants to start suing people. I'm sure if he won, this would have never happened. But because he lost and got hurt. Let's get to it.
With someone weighing some 50 pounds more than him. And anyone familiar with martial arts in general, weight class is one of the most significant issues for the safety of participants.
Well, your client signed 2 separate waivers. One of them when he joined
2.
the gym, the other when he signed up for the tournament. So why did the judge rule that those waivers weren't sufficient to protect Suarez from the civil claim?
So my understanding of the judge's decision is that the first waiver only applied to negligence in the classes and not necessarily to things that happen in the competition, because Mr. Suarez signed that waiver when he joined the classes, but he didn't know, Mr. Peters, he didn't know that he would be joining a competition. Then with respect to the waiver for the competition, there was an online registration form, and the wording of the waiver is not known to the court because Mr. Suarez was not able to provide enough evidence to show what that wording was.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
My head hurts.
So one thing with waivers is they need to be interpreted. Sometimes they cover, basic things like, the other opponent's actions or referee's negligence or just your own negligence. But to take it a step further and have it apply to the host negligence is a different type of waiver. And so in this case, the judge said that she just didn't know what the wording was, but in the alternative, we had argued that the wording didn't apply to this particular instance.
And what kind of damages is your client seeking?
Well, from the claimants, general damages for pain and suffering, past wage loss for any wages worked to the date
Oh, now you tripping.
trial, and then a future capacity loss because when you have an injury like a knee that requires surgery, certain professions may no longer be available to you. But in terms of quantification, I can't say at this particular time.
Okay, well, what lessons, though, can both instructors and amateur athletes in combat sports, what...
No. The only lesson that anybody needs to learn is not to sue your coach. That's it. And for the coaches, I guess we gotta make detailed waivers. More detailed than what they probably are already. Because, jeez, these people look for any little piece to just squeeze money out of him. Just anybody, just, Jesus Christ.
What's to be taken from this case, would you say?
Well, in terms of the participants, it is important for them to understand what the actual rules are, what are they agreeing to, what are they not agreeing to, just to be aware of that, because you assume that your host is being professional and abiding by their own rules, but they aren't necessarily
That's probably the only thing I
always
agree
doing
with.
that. Be careful whenever you sign any legal document.
Yeah.
Read the small print, try to understand it. You don't always have a lot of choice there. And then after the fact, if you are injured and you're not sure whether you have a claim, it's worth it to consult with a lawyer, because these things get really technical with the wording of contracts. In terms of the host or instructors, they should definitely have insurance, and if they are seeking to rely on contracts with waivers, then they should have a lawyer draft that waiver for them, as opposed to just seeking out general precedents online or whatever, because again, it's so technical and you really need to have your all angles covered.
I appreciate speaking with you today. Thanks very much.
That's that. I had enough.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
For anybody that's thinking on doing jiu-jitsu, don't sue your coach. He's there for you 100%. It's just messed up. Berto V, like, subscribe, check out my channel. I have plenty of jiu-jitsu videos. I got plenty of cooking videos. I got plenty of daily videos. Not daily, but I have plenty of videos of my everyday life. I got videos of my dog Havoc over here. He's sleeping. He's right over there. So check my stuff out. See if you like it. Let me know. Comment. If you don't like it, cool. That's fine with me. My lips may be chapped right now. I need to get some chapstick ASAP. So yeah, like, subscribe, check out my videos, hit the little notification, bell thing. Check it out. I'm trying to post every 2 to 3 days. I haven't been living up to that lately, but I'm trying. Yeah. Deuces.